builders here can make a much better living building the more expensive homes. And there's a lot of that work. It's very attractive. We got the first Superior Walls foundation put in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. And they're doing the second one this morning.
Cool.
It's fantastic. I live here. And it's just appalling that people can't live where they provide services to the community. Part of the charm of doing this project is creating an example for others to follow and to show that something like this can be done. We created a model that's kind of unique, and that is that unlike others, like the housing trusts that own the land and the homeowner owns the house, the homeowner here owns the home, owns the land. It's a conventional real estate transaction. We were careful to deed restrict these homes so that they can't be flipped, they can't be rented. There's a formula for resale that has to be approved by us, that you can only resell it for so much money. We intend to keep these homes reasonable priced in perpetuity.
The existing housing programs that are out there for first-time home buyers, they don't work in North Elba in that you can't overcome that gap. So someone at 80% of income, even if they got a huge subsidy from one of those programs, still couldn't afford to buy a home in this area. So that was one part of the problem. And then the second part of the problem was that there was this missing middle that couldn't even qualify for a subsidy. So if you were over 80% of area median income, so if you had a professional job, you wouldn't qualify for those programs, and you still couldn't afford a house in North Elba and Lake Placid. And so that Fawn Valley tries to bridge those two things together.
So you're talking about teachers, healthcare workers, nurses, professionals that now need assistance perhaps when they wouldn't in the past.
Yes, because the housing prices have far outpaced what people can afford.
In order to keep the cost down, we elected to not finish the attic and leave it up to the homeowner to decide whether they wanted to finish it or leave it the way it is. So potentially they could put a bathroom up here because we stubbed up plumbing to the underside of the subfloor. There's enough electricity up here for 2 bedrooms or a master suite, or they could just leave it alone.
Oh, my name's William White.
And I'm Carrie White.
We've lived here in the Fawn Valley development since February 10th was our closing. Mm-hmm. We moved in here with our daughter Ava. She's 14 years old. We both work at the Trudeau Institute in Saranac Lake. I'm in my 17th year there.
And I will be in my 5th year in December.
I was frustrated with the fact that we both work full-time, 40 hours a week, and have decent paying jobs for the area, and we're not able to afford what we were looking for in the area until this opportunity.
I like that it's very homey. I like
it's not a whole lot of space to take care of.
Right, and
we can clean it in less than a half hour.
and it's comfortable and it's suitable for us, for our family, and so.
We had just enough room to put our nice dining room table in here.
The table is from my parents, and so we can pull it out. We can sit lots of people around it.
We were very excited about the appliances.
And then, of course, the
double door fridge, which I've never had one before.
Yep.
The ice maker and water service in the fridge, we were blown away by it.
So
was great.
we literally thought, like, okay, we're good. We've won the lottery.
Yes.
We're happy.
Yep.
So we can't wait to come home. People say, oh, do you want to, stop? But no, we don't. We want to go home. And it's just really nice driving down in and seeing, like, that's our house. Like,
Yeah,
that's
a great
our
feeling.
house.
So when an application comes in, a committee of 3 reviews it, and what we're primarily looking for is this little mini essay that we ask them to write about why they want to live in Fawn Valley. It's a very open-ended question. Why do you want to live here? And that really makes it or breaks it for them. And when people say things like, I want to be part of a community, I grew up here and I work here and I can't find a place to live. I've been struggling to find housing, and this is why I believe in it. I understand what you're doing, especially when people say something like, we understand you're creating a community. We understand there's something special about it. And there is something special about it. Like there's restrictions to it. We are trying to create a community that's a little bit different. This isn't on the free and open market. And so when people document to us that they understand what we're doing, they believe in community, and then there's also a component about volunteerism, and we love to see when people volunteer because everyone on our board is a big volunteer, and that shows commitment to your community too. So those are the two things that we're always looking at.
And what's been the reaction of the families that have been notified that they were winners in this selection process?
Yeah, I would say that Steve and I have talked about this. It's one of the best things about this project is to see the gratefulness in the end. You know, the thankfulness, the joy. I mean, they're crying because they're so happy, and it kind of makes me tear up. Like, it's a big deal. It's one small part that we can do to make someone's life better, and in perpetuity. You know, they're gaining equity. They're gaining a home. They're gaining a safe place for their children.
I bet a few of the homeowners have had the same reaction.
Well, yeah, it's a hand up, not a hand out, and people are really very happy.